Hello and good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. As you enter this virtual room, you may notice that your video and audio capabilities are turned off. You are still able to ask our panelists any questions using the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. I ask if you have a specific question for one school in particular to include the school's name in your question. Also, this session will be recorded and available for your viewing again on our website at strivescan.com/Brooklyn. You can also sign up for other sessions like this on our website. And without further ado, I will welcome our first presenter, Fordham University.
Great, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, hi, everyone. My name is Maria McMahon-Beelan. I am the admission counselor at Fordham University for all applicants that attend Brooklyn high schools. So even if you don't live in Brooklyn, but because you attend Brooklyn Tech, I'm your assigned admission counselor. So I'm just gonna set my timer here. So I'm mindful of the time I have. So for those of you that are not familiar with where Fordham's located, we are in New York City. So we have two campuses. We have our Rose Hill campus in the Bronx and our Lincoln Center campus in Manhattan. Our Rose Hill campus is kind of this primary campus building featured here in this slide. That's a picture of Keating Hall, which is kind of our hallmark clock tower building that's kind of featured on every Fordham brochure or presentation slide. So our Rose Hill campus is in the Belmont neighborhood. We are right by the New York Botanical Gardens and the Bronx Zoo and Arthur Avenue, which is the Little Italy of the Bronx. So it's really easy to get to our Rose Hill campus, no matter where you live in the city. You can reach us by the 4 or the BD subway lines or the Metro North from Grand Central. So it's a really easy way to, really easy to get to our Rose Hill campus. And then our Lincoln Center campus is similarly accessible no matter where you live. And our Lincoln Center campus is the other buildings that's kind of pictured on the sides of this slide. Our Lincoln Center campus is at 60th and Columbus. So it's right near Columbus Circle. So obviously super accessible because so many subway lines end up at or passing through Columbus Circle. And we're from 60th and Columbus to 62nd in Amsterdam. So we're basically 2 blocks and an avenue. So we have a really compact Manhattan campus environment. At each of our campuses, we offer 4 years of on-campus housing guaranteed. We also have students that commute to either campus as well. So that's something for you to consider. If you're considering applying to Fordham, there are both on-campus options as well as commuting options and commuting services, including our Commuter Student Association. If you're considering commuting to Fordham, it's also really exciting to note that we have a $10,000 Metro grant, which is a scholarship for all of our students that commute from their permanent residence. So it's a great option for local students that are interested in attending Fordham. We also have a shuttle that goes between our 2 campuses. So even though one campus will be your primary home for all 4 years, you can take classes at both campuses and easily get from one campus to the other. So at each of our campuses, there are 2 colleges. So we have Fordham College, which is the home of all of our arts and science programs. And then we have the Gabelli School of Business. And like I said, you can take classes at both campuses and you can also take classes at each college. So you can minor in the other college, you can double major within your college. There's a lot of flexibility within the academic offerings at Fordham. At Fordham, we have about 9,000 undergraduate students. So we're about a mid-sized school. Obviously comparing that to Brooklyn Tech is kind of similar in size actually. So there's about 6,000 students at our Rose Hill campus and about 3,000 students at our Lincoln Center campus. So especially if you're coming from Brooklyn Tech and you're looking at Lincoln Center, it's actually going to be a smaller campus environment than you're used to. So the great benefit of our size and our 2 campuses are there's a lot of ways that Fordham can feel a lot bigger than 9,000 people and a lot smaller than it, depending on the kind of environment that you're looking for and the kind of classroom experience that you want. So our average class size is around 22 students and our student to teacher ratio is 13 to 1. So there really are opportunities for smaller engaged learning despite our mid-sized institution size. And there's a lot going on campus, but there's obviously so much going on off campus throughout New York City as well. So if the Lincoln Center campus ever feels too small for you, you have the benefit of all that New York City has to offer and the millions of people that live in New York City to kind of expand your horizons, and you're not necessarily just limited to what the Lincoln Center campus has to offer. We have over 150 student clubs and organizations. So whether you're living on campus or commuting, there are tons of ways to really get involved. There really is a very strong campus culture. So even though we're located in the city, there's a lot going on campus. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds for many of our students. We also have Division I sports. All of our sports are based at the Rose Hill campus. That's where our athletic facilities are. So we're a Division I athletic school, and we also have club and intramural sports as well if you want to continue competing at different levels of competition. We also have opportunities to study abroad, which are really popular for students. Obviously, those are on pause right now, but we're looking forward to bringing them back as soon as it's safe to do so. We have our own sites in London, in Grenada, Spain, and Pretoria, South Africa. So London is definitely the most popular program, and it's most common that students go for a semester in their junior year. We also have summer programs as well. Now, in terms of applying to Fordham, I mentioned that we have our 2 colleges and 2 campuses. So you do choose a college and a campus. So colleges being Fordham College or the School of Business, and campuses being Rose Hill in the Bronx and Lincoln Center in Manhattan. You do choose a college and a campus when you apply, and that's what you're evaluated for when you apply for Fordham. We have a couple different deadlines: early action, early decision, and then regular decision at January 1st. So there's tons of different options depending on when you feel your application is complete and when you want to submit it. And we also are test optional. So this was our first year of going test optional, and we will be test optional for the current juniors in high school that will be applying this upcoming fall. And the only way we receive applications is the Common App. I forgot to mention that. Merit-based scholarships, students are automatically considered for those, testing or no testing. And to be considered for need-based aid, we encourage students and families to submit the FAFSA. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have through the Q&A, and my email address is also here on this slide. So I look forward to hearing from you and answer any questions you have. And thanks so much for attending tonight.
Thank you, Fordham. Up next, we have Hofstra University.
Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Brian Rothstein, and I am Senior Associate Dean of Admission here at Hofstra. I'm so excited to be sharing some information with you about who we are and the different pieces along those lines. So let me just share with you our first screen, so we'll share some information. For those of you who are not familiar, Hofstra is located out on Long Island. We're 25 miles east of New York City, so definitely easily accessible to New York City. For those of you who are familiar with Atlantic Terminal, which I know many of you are, if you take the Long Island Railroad from Atlantic Terminal, you are actually on our campus in just shy of 45 minutes. If you want to commute to campus, great. We have an inter-campus shuttle that does pick up at the Long Island Railroad station. Also takes students to the mall, which is Roosevelt Field Shopping Mall, Target, Walmart, and the supermarket. So you can get everywhere you need to go without having a vehicle on campus. If you wanted to have a vehicle on campus, great, no problem. Students are allowed to have a vehicle on campus right from the start. You get a nice little fun hang tag for a rear view mirror, and you're all set to roll. 82% of our first year students do reside on campus, and then it becomes about 60 or so % of our students overall. So if you want to reside on campus, we have 35 different residence halls scattered across our 244-acre campus community. A couple other things I always like to point out as well, our really robust campus, and being so close to New York City, we use it as an extension of our classroom for so many different things, whether it be jobs, internships, opportunities inside and outside the classroom, and so much more. So yeah, that's that. Hold on one second. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, that's weird. 165 different majors for us to choose from here at Hofstra. Although a large campus size, 244 acres, small campus feel, on average, it's 21 students in a class, and it's a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We're considered a medium-sized institution right in the middle of medium-sized schools, 6,100, a little over 6,100 undergraduate students, about 3,500 graduate doctoral students, classifies us right in that middle of the medium-sized schools. As you see, also representation from 48 states and upwards of 70 countries. So you have students from all over, really diverse campus community. I really consider it like New York City, where you have that melting pot, similar to what you find amongst your classmates at Brooklyn Tech. Let's talk a little bit about majors. Like I mentioned, over 165 different majors to choose from. You can view each of these on our website, hofstra.edu/majors. Just to highlight a couple of important ones, really popular amongst our students, all of our medical field related majors, so that's bio, biochemistry, chemistry, our pre-health, pre-advising, and such. Reason being is because of our partnership with Northwell Health System, largest health system in the state of New York, one of the largest in the nation, and we are partnered with them for medical school, PA school, nursing school, all awesome programs and awesome opportunities for our students. We also have a law school, a 3+3 program for you to get both your bachelor's degree and your law degree. In addition to that, a multitude of bachelor's, master's, 5-year programs, including business education, engineering, and business education, communications, and engineering, all for 5-year bachelor's, master's opportunities here at Hofstra. In addition to that as well, we have music, dance, theater, art, all amongst popular majors that we see many students applying to, speech, language, hearing sciences, criminology, criminal justice, forensic science, just to name a couple of them. But as you want to explore, feel free to take a peek at our website, hofstra.edu/majors. Let's talk a little bit about the experiential learning piece of it. Here at Hofstra, we're really big on the experiential learning piece of it as well. We want students out there as early as possible to really gaining that hands-on learning and hands-on experience and utilizing New York City in their backyard for those opportunities as well. 71% of our students participate in at least one internship here at Hofstra. On average, our students participate in 2.35 internships while here. You're seeing some of the names of the popular places that our students will intern with, but our students are really out there as early as their freshman year, gaining hands-on learning and hands-on experience, interning and seeing different opportunities to make sure that they're not only experiencing it in the classroom, but also have that experiential learning piece of it as well. Let's talk a little bit about our campus community as a whole. 21 Division I sports teams. We are the Hofstra Pride. Lion and Lioness are our, Kate and Willie are our mascots. So 2 lions make up a pride, if you don't remember that from your Lion King days. We have over 220 student clubs and organizations to be a part of. So you name it, we have it here at Hofstra. If we don't, you and 14 other students have an opportunity to start up a new club or organization. So really awesome opportunities for you to be able to get involved with here at Hofstra. As I mentioned before, we do guarantee housing for all 4 years. You want to reside on campus? Great. If you don't, that decision is up to you. Many of our students do, about 82% of our first year students do. Our students are very big on community service, both on campus, in the local community, across the world, and around the nation. So over 100,000 hours of community service our students participated in here overall. Our students are really involved in giving back to the community and getting involved with that. Want to play club or intramural sports? You can do that as part of our club and organizations. In addition to that, also fraternities and sororities. Other couple things to mention on this slide: study abroad opportunities. Some of the places we've gone in the past: Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, Egypt, France, Japan, China, Spain, Norway, Italy, Greece, and the Galapagos Islands are all places that our students have had opportunities to go and participate in our study abroad programs. In addition to that as well, many eateries across our campus community, something kind of unique to us here at Hofstra. Our eateries are actually scattered across our campus community. There were over 18 eateries, so it works like a debit card system, which is also kind of unique to us here. Let's talk a little bit about application processes. You can apply to Hofstra either through the Common Application or the Hofstra application, either one of them. We are an early action institution. Early action is non-binding. If you apply by November 15th, you'll receive a decision from us by December 15th. If that is too early, we then have an early action 2 deadline. Apply by December 15th, hear from us by January 15th. After that, we become a rolling admission institution. As mentioned from one of my colleagues before as well, we are a test optional institution, have been for about 5 years now. So definitely something to be mindful of. You want to submit those, totally fine. And if you don't, that's okay too. Average GPA, if we take everyone that applied last year, average it out, about a 3.7 high school GPA, between 1120 and 1320 on the SATs, between 25 and 32 on the ACTs. You want to come out and visit, feel free to do so. And then I will leave you with my contact information up here. Students are automatically reviewed for merit-based scholarship when applying to Hofstra, totaling upwards of $26,000 on average, and 52% discount rate on top of tuition that we were able to offer out to our students. But if you have some questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. That's what I'm here for. And I look forward to meeting you and staying in touch. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Hofstra. As a reminder, students, please use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen to ask our panelists questions directly. Up next, we have Colgate University.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining this evening. My name is Lynn Holcomb. As you can see, I have my email address right by my name for easy access. I'm going to, like many others, go ahead and share my screen for just a moment here. And us in a little bit of a different direction I'm following two New York City schools outside of the city, and I'm going to take us a little bit to a whole different style of education, thinking about a residential liberal arts experience. Colgate represents one of the best combinations of a research university and a liberal arts college rolled into one. Colgate is located in Hamilton, New York. We are just about 4 hours north of New York City, and we are in a rural college town. We are absolutely a fabulous opportunity for education, but a little bit of a different lifestyle choice from those living in urban New York City. At Colgate, we have just about 3,000 undergraduates. Although we are a university by name, we have just one master's program, and that is a master's in teaching. Otherwise, we are focused on undergraduate education. We offer 56 different diverse majors. There is absolutely no place you can't land at Colgate with the breadth of our majors. We have so many opportunities of a much larger school despite our size. And I know students from Brooklyn Tech, we talk a lot about the size of Colgate's campus as it relates to your high school experience. But you'll see that we have clubs, and the number of clubs that are on par with a much larger institution, with over 200 different clubs and organizations. And also we do have Division I athletics at Colgate as well. We currently have 25 varsity level sports. And you're going to find an academic experience that is on par with some of the top research universities, but at a remarkably personal level as well at Colgate. We have just a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. The average class size is just 17 students. We don't use teaching assistants at Colgate, and our annual retention rate, the return of first years for sophomores, is about 95%. And that's because our classes are small. We focus on a foundation to our education through our core curriculum, and the mentorship and advising that students are going to receive in a living, learning residential community is very, very strong, very tight for the students during their 4 years at Colgate. You also will find in our time at Colgate that we very much believe in the living learning community, and for students to be part of residential life at Colgate. We guarantee housing for 4 years. About 92% of our students live on campus, and it's not until your senior year that you're even eligible to have the option to live off campus. And our students are structured within residential communities at Colgate. A dorm cluster that you join as your first year, that becomes your home for your first 2 years at Colgate, and helps our students to find community and interact with our 3,000 students from across the US, around the world. About a third of our students identify as multicultural, about 10% are first generation. We have about 10% international students. We want our students to live and learn in a diverse community. We have over 35,000, we like to say famously loyal Colgate alumni. There is a great sense of pride and school spirit at Colgate. I think that's definitely something we're known for, sort of the energy, passion, drive, spirit, ambition that just is part of the Colgate DNA and the Colgate personality. Our students are involved in everything from performing in visual arts to sports, as I mentioned, to community service. We teach about civic engagement, and our students live that as part of the living learning community at Colgate. Experiential learning, as many of the other colleges mentioned as well, is going to be highly critical to the success of a Colgate student. There's 3 ways in which we present that to our students that are the most exciting and robust for them. It is going to be through study abroad, through cultural experiences and immersion. We are committed to global education for our students. As mentioned, that is on pause given the pandemic, but it is still a feature of our curriculum at this time. That is so critical. We also focus on a summer internship program for students, and it is really an expectation that our students pursue summer internships. Our calendar at Colgate allows for a fall and spring semester, and it's during the summer that our students really spread their wings and travel throughout the US and around the world, finding, through the help of career services and Colgate alumni, appropriate summer internship programs. Finally, undergraduate research. We're preparing students for professions in a variety of different areas, and undergraduate research is a true hallmark of a Colgate education. Typically, in a typical year, 6 to 8 months after graduation, we have 98% of our students employed in their first job in graduate school. We have a 91% graduation rate, and we have about 140 formal recruiting partners. We're prepped to make sure our students are ready for life after Colgate. We also provide students coming from New York City with a different experience. We are in a rural college town. There's just 4,000 residents in the village of Hamilton, but it is known as one of the friendliest towns at Colgate. We celebrated our bicentennial last year. We have an incredible vision for the future, and we are excited for students to think about becoming part of that as they look at their college options. In terms of the application process to Colgate, we are an early decision school. You can see the deadlines and dates listed there. In terms of applications, we accept the coalition, the common application, as well as the QuestBridge application. We are test optional moving forward for our students. We also have a financial aid policy. We meet 100% of a student family's demonstrated need in the process. And we also have no loans for students whose family's income is $125,000 a year or less. So feel free, pop any questions in the chat that you might have for me. And I wish you the best in your college search.
Thank you. Up next, we have NYU School of Engineering.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for participating in today's event. My name is Debbie Joachim. I am the Assistant Director for Enrollment Management at NYU Tandon. Just to give you a brief insight, I don't have a presentation today because I did not get a minute to see about one, but I will try to give you the best information I possibly can in 6 minutes. I would just like to let you know that we are the engineering school for NYU, which is a larger New York University, and we are located in Brooklyn. We have approximately 6,300 students on campus, with approximately 2,700 undergrad students and about 3,500 grad students. 40% of our students are women. We are very, very proud of that, and we are looking to meet that 50% goal that we are anticipating for the next semester. We offer 15 undergrad majors spread over 11 academic departments. We are located in the Brooklyn Triangle in Brooklyn. Most of you in Brooklyn College know where we are located because we are not too far from you. We have 2 residence halls in Brooklyn, which house our engineering students. However, students will have the option to transfer to a different residence hall after the first semester. We do advise you that if your major is in the Brooklyn campus, we would like you to stay in the Brooklyn campus at the residence hall in the Brooklyn campus for the first semester, just so that you can acclimatize yourself with the Brooklyn campus. At the engineering school, students have the opportunity to join any of our 40 student clubs that represent a variety of interests. The engineering school also has the opportunity for students to participate and get involved in our vertical integrated projects. These projects are long-term, large-scale projects that bring together education, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. These projects are run with the assistance of faculty and students together. A little bit of information on the admissions process. It is done through the Common App, which most of you are aware of. When you are applying to New York University and you're interested in the engineering school, you just click on the engineering school, and that's the school that you would be applying to. Our first application for the deadline for our first application is January 1st. We do have early decision 1 and early decision 2, which is an option you have as well. We look for students with a range of 3.7 to 3.6 SAT scores. We also normally require, I'd just like to know that as every other school, standardized testing is optional for the first year as of now, hoping, that will continue. We have no idea how long. SAT scores average around 1350 to 1530. Transfer students are 3.5, reading or writing are between 680 and 760. Math scores, we look for something between 700 and 800. We at Tandon look at students in a holistic approach. It means that we look at the entire student, not just on your academic capabilities. We evaluate the whole students academically, socially, and achievement-wise. anything that you can provide when applying to the application process at NYU, please. We have an essay that says why NYU. We would like for you to tell us why you're interested in NYU. Just to give you a little insight of the New York University, we do have a free shuttle that runs from the Brooklyn campus to the main campus. So if you have a major in the Brooklyn campus and you want to go to the main campus for a minor, absolutely, that's something you can do anytime. It runs all day, most of the night as well. We do have 3 degree granting sites, Shanghai, Abu Dhabi, and New York City. We offer a wide range of different global schools all over the world. So if you want to attend one of these schools during a semester, please feel free, just check with your student academic advisor and your professor, and they will guide you in the right direction as to how to participate in one of these events. NYU Tandon also does a lot of summer research programs. We have a lot of classes that a lot of high school students take part in for the summer. We also house some of our summer research kids in this on campus pre-pandemic. We are hoping that, after the pandemic, we will be able to get back into that. We also have Study Away, which is on hold right now. We are hoping to get back full-fledged with that after the pandemic. Please feel free to visit our website for any questions that you might have regarding applying to NYU or applying to NYU Tandon. I will provide my email information in the chat for you so that you can email me with any further questions that you might have. And I look forward to seeing all of you on campus if you see fit to apply to NYU. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Pratt Institute.
Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I greatly appreciate it. If you give me 1 second, I'm just gonna share my screen with you and get this presentation rolling. So let me make sure I'm mindful of my time. I want to start off by saying that Pratt is quite a unique place, and we're very close to Brooklyn Tech. I've been working with Brooklyn Tech for over 20 years, and it is a privilege to continue to do so. So Pratt Institute is the first art and design school in the United States. We're not the first art school. We're the first art and design school in the United States. We're also the largest art and design school in the US. We offer 22 different art and design disciplines and majors, and we offer over 27 minors. All right, we're ranked in the top 10 for every single one of our offerings, and many of our programs are ranked #1. We also have a professionally, regionally, and state accredited architecture program. It is a professional degree. It is a 5-year professional degree program. Pratt consists of 4,800 students. We are a global community, about 32% international. We have over 80 countries represented at Pratt in all 50 states, from every socioeconomic, spiritual, political, ethnic background you could possibly imagine. It's just a melting pot of creativity and making. So it's a really cool atmosphere at Pratt. One of the things that differentiates Pratt from a lot of the other schools that we'll be speaking today is we do require an additional admissions sort of requirement, which is the portfolio. All students are required to submit a portfolio. That portfolio is 15 to 20 pieces of your best artwork. Okay, 3 to 5 of those pieces should be some type of observational drawing. Here you can see a list of the majors that we're offering in the School of Art and the School of Design. And I'm going to continue on through that. We do encourage students to set up one-on-one appointments with us to get a really hands-on sort of admissions experience, and for us to sort of guide you through the admissions process as both a method of planning your application process, your portfolio development, but also as a way to do some professional planning as well, to start to think about what it is you're interested in doing professionally and what your professional goals are. Pratt is a foundation-based school. In fact, Pratt invented the foundation year. So all schools that have a foundation program are based off of our curriculum. And what that does is it ensures and prepares students to be able to excel in any of our art and design disciplines. Again, our architecture program is a 4-year professional accredited degree. Students are ready to sit for licensure upon graduation. So it is an excellent program. We also have a very strong construction management program. We're actually ranked #1 in the country for construction management. So for those of you who are interested in that process, this is an ideal place for you. We have 100% job placement in construction management, and the starting salary is well above $100,000. So great place to study CM if that's something you're interested in. We also have liberal arts and sciences. We offer a degree in writing. We offer a BA and a BFA in art history. The BA is purely academic, and that's in the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And then we have a degree in critical and visual studies. We offer some associate's degrees at our Manhattan campus, which is located on 14th Street near Union Square. Here you can see a list of our minors, and we just launched a new minor in entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurial endeavors and entrepreneurship in general is something that we cover major specifically in every discipline at Pratt. So you're going to get sort of a crash course in entrepreneurship no matter what you do if you end up at Pratt. We also have a sister school in Utica, New York. This doesn't have our full course offerings, but it is an ideal sort of transitional experience for students who might be interested in getting out of the city for a little while. So you do 2 years upstate Utica in our sort of bucolic environment, and then you come back and finish out your degree in our Brooklyn campus and get your 4-year BFA. We do have a multitude of study abroad opportunities everywhere from places like Seoul and Tokyo and Taipei to Cuba, Stockholm, Berlin, Copenhagen, London, Edinburgh, Dublin, Sydney. We even have a traveling program in Cuba. So we have a lot of really cool study abroad programs. Unfortunately, those are on hold right now due to COVID. So we do encourage you to check back in with us so we can let you know about advancements and when those are back on. Our main campus, again, it's less than 1.5 miles from Brooklyn Tech. It's right down DeKalb Avenue, and it is a beautiful historic landscape area, 25-acre rectangle located in the heart of downtown Brooklyn, Fort Greene, and Clinton Hill. So really beautiful area, residential area. It's actually registered as a state sculpture park. There's beautiful sculptures all over campus by famous artists, alumni, and other various artists. You can see some of our beautiful campus here. We're actually the only art and design school on the East Coast that has a true campus, and we do guarantee housing for as long as you're in school. We are a private institution, so where you live has no bearing on your eligibility for housing. 86% of our first year students live on campus and about 53% of upperclassmen. We do have sports. We're NCAA Division III, Hudson River Valley Conference. We have a beautiful gym and athletic center. We have over 200 clubs and special interest groups on campus. And probably most importantly, ours are our Center for Career and Professional Development. We have over 98% job placement within 1 year of graduation, and we boast a 9-to-1 student to teacher ratio, which is the best student to teacher ratio of any art and design institution in the country. Couple of special things to note: we are moving to the common application, and we are also test optional for this year and following year. We will investigate whether or not we want to do that moving forward. We do give 7 full scholarships that are due to our affinity partners, and we do give 2 full rides through our partnership with the design house Balenciaga. For students who are interested, we also participate in HEOP, and I am the HEOP liaison for Pratt Institute. So I'm just going to pop my contact information in the chat, and I see that I've gone a little bit over my 6 minutes, so I'm going to stop here. And please reach out to us so we can customize your admissions experience if you have any further questions.
Thank you. Up next, we have Skidmore College.
Hello, thank you guys for joining us today. My name is Cedric Williams. I'm one of the assistant directors over at Skidmore College. We have 6 minutes today, so I'm going to give you guys a taste of Skidmore We're going to talk about academics, the community, as well as the application process, as well as Saratoga Springs. If I don't mention something, it does not mean that we do not have it. It just means that I either forgot to mention it or we are pressed for time. And I'm sure the panelists can share that feeling as well. So if I don't mention engineering or anything like that, don't worry, we do have engineering opportunities for you. So a little bit about Skidmore. When I ask students and families things that they've heard about Skidmore, I often get Skidmore as a really artsy place or sciencey place, and it honestly is a little bit of both and everything. Skidmore is a place where you study the sciences and the arts at a really high level without having to risk either passion. Maybe you want to combine it too. That's very popular here at Skidmore. With that being said, business also is one of our most popular majors. I know business can be somewhat unique for a liberal arts school, but it's one of our most popular majors. I always talk to students, and students will say, hey, you know, I grew up dancing, I grew up doing music, theater, whatever have you, but I don't want to major in that. Skidmore is a place where you can continue that at a really high level, but you don't have to major in it. You just want to do a dance class, you know, for fitness once a semester, you can do that without having to major in it. And if you want to major in it and you want that to be your life, you can do that as well. If you want to dip into the sciences and the arts, we definitely welcome that as well. So we are a small liberal arts school, around 2,500 students. Your average class size is about 16 students. Our student to faculty ratio is 8:1. What does this actually mean for you guys? It means inside the classroom, you're more than just another name, more than just another number. The professor knows your strengths and weaknesses, which is really cool. We don't have any grad students, therefore you're not competing with grad students for any kind of internship opportunities or research opportunities. With that being said, you can do research as early as your first year here at Skidmore. Research does not have to be in the sciences or mixing anything up. Research is a pretty broad term here at Skidmore, so it can be really in any discipline. So yeah, your professors really get to know you inside, but also outside the classroom. That's one thing I definitely do like to stress. Because it's a close-knit environment inside the classroom, you really get that one-on-one connection with your professor. Rather than being one student in a class of 300-400 students, you're in a class with 15 other students more than likely. And again, not only inside, but also outside the classroom. Professors have office hours, which are hours dedicated towards helping students. But it's even more common for students to email professor, hey, I can't come in during this time. Could I come in before or after your office hours? And the professor is usually more than accommodating to help out the student, but also outside the classroom. We had an international student last year. She was very homesick her first month or so at Skidmore. Nothing to do with Skidmore. She just missed her dogs back at home. I have 2 pit bulls at home, so I can definitely relate where she's coming from. She told her professor about this, and she kind of was expecting to get like a full-blown lecture, but instead the professor's like, hey, can you come to my office hours next week? She showed up, and there were 2 golden retrievers there, and the professor's pretty much like, hey, you said you missed your dogs. You want to like walk my dogs for an hour? So inside the classroom, they're going to be there to help you with material, get ready for tests, but also outside the classroom, something as simple as being homesick, which you'll find at many small liberal arts schools, but especially here at Skidmore, it's definitely something we pride ourselves in. A little bit about our majors and what to study here at Skidmore. So we have over 60 combined majors and minors. Some of our most popular being theater, biology, studio art, business, as I mentioned, neuroscience, as well as environmental science and studies. Some of our most popular, we have over 60 combined majors and minors. Students also have the opportunity to create their own major and minor here as well. So if you are on our mailing list, you'll see Creative Thought Matters. You'll see that all over. You'll see that on Skidmore Gear. You'll see that on the website all over. And it is something that we definitely do value. Rather than just becoming a biology major or just becoming a history major, you really get to create and shape your academic path here at Skidmore. So what do you want to do with that? I find it really cool that I can talk to 6 different psychology majors, and by the end of the conversation, I wouldn't know that they all study the same thing. Students definitely make the curriculum their own here at Skidmore. Some ways students do that, again, creating their own major or minor. Double majoring is another way as well. Most of our students do double major here at Skidmore. The majors don't necessarily have to go together or make sense. As long as you're passionate about the 2 areas, there's no reason why you can't study 2. We also do have a very open curriculum too. So you don't have to major in any discipline here at Skidmore in order to take the classes, which is really nice. Moving on a little bit to our community. So first and foremost, I start with, we are a very inclusive and welcoming community. First and foremost, our social bread and butter are our clubs and organizations. So we do not have Greek life. There's nothing wrong with Greek life. It's just a matter of, would you like to join a fraternity or a sorority, or would you like to have that around you in your experience? We focus more on the clubs and organizations. So we don't have any kind of Greek life. We have over 130 clubs, 2,500 students at Skidmore, but each year we have over 3,500 events. So there's always something to do here on campus. And really at the club level, it really creates a space for any and everyone, honestly. Our biggest club at Skidmore is our outing club, next to our community service and benefactions club. But we even have clubs like, we have a knitting club where students get together and knit and watch movies. We have a Harry Potter themed club along with the club Quidditch sports team. So you will see people run around on brooms. They're not flying yet. We haven't gotten that far. But yeah, our clubs and organizations definitely are social bread and butter here. A number of different traditions as well. Just to name a few of those, each year we have a tradition called Beatlemore. So each year the school picks a Beatles album and students and professors audition to perform their favorite Beatles song. And we throw a 3-day concert for them. It's a pretty busy and packed event. So busy that one day is exclusively for Skidmore students. Moving on to Saratoga, it's really the best of both worlds, in my opinion. Saratoga, you get the best of both worlds in terms of nature, but you also get a really nice downtown area as well. So you can wake up in the morning and go hiking, trailing, skiing, and in the afternoon you can eat sushi, eat really good mac and cheese at a place called Druthers. So you really get the best of both worlds as far as that. I believe my time is up. I'll turn it over to Kyle.
Thank you, Skidmore. So we still have a few minutes left of our session. So I wanted to invite the panelists back to turn on their video and do a round robin question with them in the order that they presented. So the question that I have for all of you today is, give an interesting or fun fact about your school. So we'll start off with Fordham, please.
Sure. So Fordham has been a movie set and a TV set, and it can be seen in a lot of commercials. So if you visit campus and it looks familiar, it might be because you saw it on TV.
Thank you. Hofstra?
I would say an interesting fact about us at Hofstra, our original founders, or the land that our institution is on, is Hofstra, the family Hofstra. They were lumber farmers and actually were supposed to be on the Titanic and did not make it to the Titanic because they had work that they had not finished. So we would not have existed if they actually made it on, and they had to give up their tickets to somebody else. So that's an interesting fact, and originally started as a Long Island campus of NYU.
Thank you. Colgate?
Well, this is a COVID-based response of a fun fact, because this is, I think, an interesting fact given the last year we've all experienced. Colgate's been open all year. We welcomed our students back to campus in the fall, and we have actually had about 96% of our students on campus for the full academic year. And I think that's a great salute and tribute to Colgate's community. So that is a fun fact in a COVID environment.
Thank you. NYU?
Hi, so one of the things we do for our students every year to relieve some stress, we open up our admissions offices, and in the hallway, we bring a lot of puppies, dogs, and we bring them in a cage, and we have all the students come and they play with them for about 2-3 hours for that evening to relieve some sort of stress. So that's one of the things we look forward to every year.
Thank you. Pratt Institute?
So believe it or not, Pratt was actually the first free public library in Brooklyn. So because of that, we're very connected with the community and literacy. We work very closely with America Reads, and we do a lot of literacy outreach and encouraging, young students to read and to make art. Picture books are a really big part of our history. So that's a little fun thing about Pratt.
And last but not least, Skidmore College.
It's kind of a double one. Every Friday we have Chicken Finger Friday, also vegan options, and we also have an Around the Globe station in our dining hall where they rotate food from different parts of the world every day.
Thank you to all the panelists. So that concludes our virtual session this evening. Thank you for joining us. As you exit out, you will be presented with a quick survey of 4 questions. Your feedback is always appreciated. You can also sign up for more sessions like this on our website, where you can also find the recording for tonight's session later on this week. So please visit strivescan.com/BrooklynTech. Thank you all again for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck during your college search. Have a great day.